They just do what they gotta do. But all these feelings, I feel like they're gonna go away. Even like you give a month to settle things down.
You're saying people regret once they divorce?
There's no connection and there's no need to be with.
Marissa, maybe by that point they're already strangers under one roof.
Yeah.
Right? And there is no kids.
Yeah.
You think about what's going to be later. You think, unfortunately, today it's very common that people don't think as two anymore. They think as, they don't think, she wants to see what she's going to gain from this marriage, what she's going to gain from this relationship. Is it worthwhile for her to stay in the relationship? Or it bothers her, he's on her nerves, it's better for her to be alone. Sometimes they don't sleep in the same bedroom anymore. Sometimes kind of things like that. When they start to live separate, so it goes separate all the way. And because it's common and everybody's doing it, so fine, why not? Me too. Okay, so it says, Oseh Shalom Bimrumav. There are angels in heaven that are made from fire. There are angels in heaven that are made from ice. And they make peace between themselves so that they will make Hashem, orders of Hashem. Okay? If they can make peace out of fire and out of ice from there, we ask Hashem to give peace among us too.
Two opposites, right?
Yes. So it says, "Vayivra Elokim et ha'adam betzalmo." Hashem created the man in His image. Zachar u'nekeva bara otam. He built them male and female. Vayvarech otam v'yikra shemam Adam. Adam in Hebrew is called not only the man and woman together. They are called Adam. Not only men.
I never heard of
When they are together, they are called Adam. Yes. And Rashbi, Rishma Bachai in the Zohar, he says that in the secret that the heaven and the earth were created, so were man and woman. They were created one perfection. Okay? And it's very interesting. Man and woman can bring the Shekhinah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the presence of Hashem, in between them. And if there won't be peace, Hashem won't be between them. Okay? Ish v'isha shezachu, Shekhinah b'hem. If they have them married, Hashem is among them. If not, God forbid, esh ochaltam. We know that. But it says, in Sof Masechet Oktzin, it says, ולא מצא הקדוש ברוך הוא כלי מחזיק לברכה לישראל, אלא שלא. Hashem couldn't find the right vessel, something that will hold the Jewish nation, only peace. Peace is so important. We have to strive, we have to work very much for peace. There was this couple that were very, very poor, didn't have money, couldn't pay the rent, couldn't pay the children's tuition, even for food they didn't have money. And the holiday of Sukkot was approaching, and the guy have always in mind wanted to bless for Arbat Aminim. We wanted etrog meudar. We wanted a very, very fine etrog. You know, not every year he has a chance, but this year he got, I don't know, from some kind of a gamach, he got some money, and so he went and he bought himself a very nice etrog. He comes home and he shows to his wife, look what I bought this year. I bought a nice etrog, and this year I can bless it, and it's so nice. The wife is, and what about the rent? And what about the food? I don't have chicken. I don't have fish. I don't have this. I don't have that. What is this? She took this etrog and she threw it on the floor. From her anger. What happened when she threw it on the floor? So the etrog has a certain piece. If this thing is falling, it's not kosher anymore. Became not kosher. And he's like, look what you did. Now we don't have food, but we don't have etrog anymore also. So he was thinking, in the first second, he was so upset at her that she wasted all this money that he got. Yeah, he could have bought some chicken, he could have bought something for the Chag. But now, he thinks to himself and he says, wait a second. So I don't have etrog. And I don't have money. I waste all this money, was lost. So I should also lose my shlom bayit. So he works on himself and he says, okay, my wife probably got very angry because of lack of money, because I wasn't 100% responsible, because of that. He tries to calm her down, tries to make her feel okay. He wasn't getting angry at her. He was trying to make peace. This is peace. This is shalom. This is something that we have to work in the house very, very much. Once they made this 50th year anniversary for a very old couple. And all the grandkids gathered, the children, family. And one of the grandkids is asking his grandmother, so Savta, tell us, what is the secret of your marriage, of your long, happy marriage? She says, you know something? When I got married, I decided that I will ignore 3 of my husband's greatest mistakes, blemish, defects, wrong things. I'll try to ignore. Oh, so very nice. What were there? He's asking. She says, I really don't know. Every time there was some kind of problem, I said, it's probably one of the 3 of them. I never wrote it down. This is a nice approach. This is a nice thing. You know, she was trying to make peace, not to make a deal out of every small little problem. Try to, this is the peace. Let's say your husband sits next to his laptop. And you come to him and you tell him, you know, my back is hurting. My stomach, my head, I don't know, you try to get some attention or something. And he's like, go take Tylenol, take this, make yourself a hot tea with sugar, with Navat sugar, with, you know, the hard, make yourself, he tries to give you all kind of things, just get out of my, let me concentrate on what I have to do, just don't bother me. Later on, he comes and tells you, oh, I love you so much, and would you believe it?
Well, he did give you advice on what to do.
Not only advice, it's like, get away. Or the opposite. I don't know, he came home and he's very, very hungry, and you are on a phone call with your friend, trying to make arrangement for your bar mitzvah, or trying to, I don't know, you have to make this major shoppings because you have to and whatever. And he comes to that, I want you to fix my coat now. The button over there missing, or something that I need you to do, you know? And he's testing you this way. Would you leave everything and do whatever I ask you to do? Or you're just, what do you want me? Well, I'll do it later. Who cares now? You're not so important to me. So these are things that people are checking out. And it's, you know, we think that marriage means to be happy. My husband needs to make me happy. This is how I know I'll be happy in the marriage. Okay? And ask your grandmothers, did they get married just in order to be happy? They didn't even think of that. You know, their strive was to survive, to there. And it's interesting. They say, you heard about Helen Keller?
Yeah.
Yes.
So mute, deaf, blind, a woman. She says, you never try to look for happiness outside you. Happiness is supposed to come from inside you, out. Once you do something good for somebody, this is when you're happy. Don't try to look for somebody to make you happy, because it won't happen.
It's true.
And yes, this is the cattle. Now we're coming to the bird. What is the bird?
That's our goal.
Huh?
That's our goal.
That's our goal. That's the ultimate love that could be between people. A bird represents an animal that's built from 2 different entities, from 2 different things. Meaning, the animal, this bird, feels very, very comfortable, both on ground, the way that she walks, the way that she collects her food, the way that she makes her nest, the way that she, right? Her body is built this way so that everything works out completely, you know, for her being on the ground, and she feels both comfortable on air. She soars high to the sky. She travels. Sometimes the birds, they go thousands of miles if needed for the warm weather or so. And they feel comfortable, doing all those trips, and they're okay with this, and their body built this way to both being in ground and in sky. So it becomes like two different things into one animal. Now, this bird doesn't feel like two, it feels like one, right? When two people are getting married, okay, it's going to take them time to feel one. It's not happening in the first few weeks after marriage. It takes time. But this should be the goal. Not me and you, we, us. How do you get there? How do you get to feel like one? Okay? This is the biggest question. This is the biggest thing that we try to work on. So, there was this guy, there was this couple, didn't get along, had already 5 kids. She sees that he's all into himself, into his business trips, into his, he doesn't care about her. He sees that she cares about herself, and they're like, as we said, totally live separate, live together but live separate. And they tried to go to this marriage counselor, to that marriage, didn't get along. They decided to divorce. Okay, they set up a date with a rabbi. We're going to come on this and this date. The guy tries to take a walk a little bit outside the house. Snowy weather. He fell and he broke his leg. Now, who's going to take care of him?
The wife.
The wife? His wife. So he went to the doctor. She had to carry him. She had to help him. She had to do this. She had to come home. He cannot walk. So she's really like a lot of helper. Everything.
Attached to the hip.
Yeah, she cannot. She's his physical therapist, and he cannot do anything. She has to help him take a shower. She has to help him go to bed. He has to get out of bed, sit down on the chair, get out of the chair. And he starts to spend time home, things that he was not used to. He used to go to this business trip and leave me alone. Now when he's home, all of a sudden realizes a lot of things. In one day, how many things his wife is doing, never paid attention. They come home usually and they're, what did you do all day long? Yeah? He comes and all of a sudden he sees that how much she's multitasking. She does, she cooks, she cleans, she goes, she's there, the laundry, there, the ironing, the come, and the food, and I don't know, I don't have to tell you whatever she does during the day. And then she leaves everything in the middle of the day. She has to pick up the kids from the school, bring them home, starts homework, a whole big balagan. He usually comes home when they're all quiet, after a shower, the house is clean, his dinner is ready, and he doesn't see all this balagan, all this craziness. All of a sudden he sees, and meanwhile, in between, helps him, brings him the food, does whatever needed there, makes him feel good, runs and brings him a cup of tea, brings everything that he needs, bring him his laptop, bring him his this, bring him that. He cannot do anything on his own. It's a lot of, he sees that she all of a sudden, he started to appreciate something that he didn't realize, okay, what happened before. And he had thoughts, if to go on with this divorce or not. The minute that he felt a bit better and he was on his own, she became sick. She had a mono, she had a hepatitis, she had something, she felt she couldn't do anything. Okay. When somebody has hepatitis, they don't have the strength for anything. He had to feed her. He had to give her a drink. He had to put her to sleep. He had to help her out. And besides the housework, the keys, to take the kids out to schools, out to the bus stops, it's unbelievable. All of a sudden he had to do all this. He never realized how much his wife does. And of course, helping her and giving her and doing for her put so much love into him, because that's what's love. Love is giving. We said that, right? That this couple thought twice afterwards if they wanted a divorce. Obviously, they didn't want the divorce. They started to talk, they started to discuss, they started to open up, they started to appreciate one another. Okay? This is when somebody gives for one another, that's what happens. Now, we said that love is giving, but giving what?
What you want to give or what they want, right?
What you want to give or what he needs to get from you? That's the question. Okay? We ask about love before. What is love? What is love? So yeah, love is giving, but giving what? You decide that the most that you can do is pizza today. That's it. Don't ask me questions today, let's say. And he wants something else.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna buy this piece of meat. Can you make it? Like today.
What is it?
I made dinner already.
Uh-huh.
He wanted something else. I was like, okay, should I just shut my mouth? Like it just like digested. Like, okay, don't just say any comment. Okay, just bring it. I'll make it. And then I was like, then when you see him burst, and you're like, you want to burst? Like controlling myself. Okay, fine. Just hand over the meat. Just turn around so you can see your facial expression. And just walk to the kitchen and do it. Because otherwise, like now, well, I have to put the kids to sleep. I have to cook. And like all this. Guys, let me just do it. Let me just do it. It's very hard. I think it takes a lot of years to get to there.
Yeah.
Because you just want to blurt it out and just like not deal with it. But then over time,
So,
it makes them happy.
This Bella, right, Duguma, example, she thought that she's the best wife ever. She does, she cleans, she cooks, she does, whatever. But then, when they were in their mother's house once, her mother declared something like she didn't like his job. He was landscaping something, working. She didn't think it's honoring enough, it's respectful, it's this. She wanted him to do something else. And she said some kind of a remark. And her daughter, this Bella, didn't answer. He came home very upset. Like, he wanted her to be by his side, to say something. My husband is the best. My husband is good. Why do you say something? Or something. And she didn't. It bothered him. And she's like, what do you want from me? I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything about you. I didn't say, what was the problem over there? He didn't feel that she is by his side. He didn't feel that that he is very important for her. That he's everything for her, right?
But
this, yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
But isn't that a good thing that she didn't say anything, and maybe she should have said something to her in private instead of starting
Could be, but that's not what he felt. He felt that she believes to what her mother said.
Because you're silent, that's like agreeing.
Yeah, she should be defending, right? Defending him.
And they can always talk about this, like what did you feel, what did you mean when you said, or what did you think? And
Right.
But he felt that she wasn't there by his side, and she's not like a full partner. Like he couldn't feel that he can talk. He doesn't get the support from her, and it bothered him very, very much. Now, love needs to be unconditional. You cannot say, if you will fix the shelf that you promised, if you will, I don't know, clean, something, the yard, like you mentioned, that you will do already a few weeks and you never did, if you will go and buy me this and this and this, so then I will do this and this and that, okay? It doesn't work together, we mentioned it last time, and it's very, very important. Now, there's a difference when we speak about love. There's a love of a woman to her children, and there's a love of woman to her husband. What's the difference? What's the difference?
children is unconditional? I don't know.
The love of mother to her kids is natural. You don't have to work for it. There's no mitzvah that says in the Torah, parents have to love their kids because it's natural.
Because you don't expect anything from them.
You invest so much on your kids. You do expect.
No, I'm saying like when you do something for your husband, you expect something back.
Okay.
I don't think it works the same with like, kids that are of a younger age.
When younger age.
You just give them continuously unconditional love.
Unconditional. And you don't make any calculations. You didn't cry, you were a good boy, you just give, right? And it's natural because from birth, from even when they were still in your stomach, you constantly give. You give your blood, you give your everything to your kids. So once you invest into something, of course you're going to love the kids. You love your own kids more than you love your neighbor kids, even though, let's say, they're much cuter. Why? Because it's your own kids. You give them so much, right? So naturally, to your own kids, you like. Your husband, though, he's not a kid. He's not your baby. Here you have to work on it. ואהבת לך כמוך, you have to love your husband and give him whatever he needs. That's נקרא ואהבת לך כמוך. And on this you have to work very hard. It's not easy, but it's something that you have to work on. Another thing that we mentioned, it says, and שבע ברכות, we bless the couple, כשמחך יצרך בגן עדן מקדם. Like the love that was between Adam and Chava. What was so special about the love of Adam and Chava? As opposed to Abraham and Sarah, ויצחק ורבקה, there was nobody else. Nobody else in the world. He's the only one. He's my sunshine. He's everything for me. One marriage counselor once gave advice to this lady. She used to come to him and always complain about her husband. And he tells her, imagine that there was flood in the world. All the male died, God forbid. Only your husband's left. Well, this is already a different story. Only my husband. You're going to try to make the best of you, to please him, to make him feel okay. Because there's only one. There's nobody else. The problem is that's the thing with Adam and Chava. There was nobody else. No mother-in-law to compare your food to her, or to tell you what to do or something. Nobody else in the world, just them. So this is the beauty of Adam, the love between Adam and Chava. I want to tell you, there was this lady, Yael, got married to this guy, and what was his name? Whatever, Benny. And his family gave her a very, very special gift, a very antique ring that they had from their old grandmother. Everybody loved this grandmother very, very much. Obviously, he put a new design that was a little bit modern, but the stone was from the grandmother. And they told her, it's very dear for us, please keep it and enjoy it. Just fine, she keeps it. She was so happy with this. The first week is Sheva Brachot, you know, a lot of food, a lot of washing hands, a lot of this, and whenever you wash hands, you have to take off your zeh to say bracha. So once she did that, and since that time, and they got very upset. It's this gift that we gave you, and it's already gone. So a week didn't pass, and it's already gone. They were very upset. Keep always hinting her that she doesn't know how to keep stuff, that she's losing things, you cannot trust her, and she gets it all the time, and she gets upset, and she gets frustrated, and she knows that they're right, but what can you do now? That's it. And her husband keeps hearing it from his own mother. Whenever he comes there, it's always your wife, your wife, your wife, your wife. She didn't say it in her hand, in front of her, but to him she keeps saying, and he was very bothered by that. So one day, something interesting happened. He calls her, after a few months, he calls her and tells her, Yael, I found it. What did he find? He found where was the ring? He said, do you remember we were by my mother's house, by my parents when we ate in the Sheva Brachot? Mm-hmm. Since that time, I never wore this special suit that I had, a suit for the wedding, and it wasn't my suit. You gave it to me when you were supposed to wash my hands, and it wasn't my. So they declared it to the family. They all said that they found it, and Baruch Hashem, they didn't blame her anymore. They didn't say that she's irresponsible. They didn't say that they cannot trust her. Her name became clean, and everything was okay. Before Pesach, she's cleaning the drawers and everything. She sees a receipt. Jewelry store that she knows. It's next to her bus stop where she goes to work. And she's like, what is this? She takes it. She goes to the next to her work anyway. And she's asking, what is this? He said, oh, your husband just bought a few months ago. She understood that her husband felt her pain so much, really wanted to clean her name.
He got a new one.
And he went and he bought a new diamond and set it nicely and whatever, so that this act of her husband bought her heart. She started to feel that he cares so much for her, that he's so special, that he's really bought her heart, because there was this couple that I heard about. It's a true story. Back it was in Israel. The couple was supposed to get married, and just before the marriage, they found to know, lo alenu, that the boy having a cancer. So the parents wanted to break off the relationship because there's no point. But the girl insists, no, we should ask a rabbi. So they go to Rav Kanievsky and they ask him. The girl she doesn't mind to get married even though he's sick. And the rabbi said, you know something? There was a story in the time of the Gemara that a man rented a field to plow this field, and as he was plowing the field, he found a treasure. So he goes and he gives it to the owner. The owner said, no, it was your, I rented it to you, you can take it. He says, what do you mean, it's your field? Usually it would be the opposite. Everybody would claim that the treasure is his. In this case, they say, no, it's yours. And he says, no, it's yours. So they go to the rabbis. The rabbi suggested them, you know something, you have a boy, you have a girl, let your kids get married, and they both are going to have the benefit, they will enjoy this. The rabbi said, if the girl wants to get married so much, only good is going to come out of it. He didn't explain. So they married. Aval, this boy, he wasn't feeling well. It became worse and worse, and he passed away.
Oh my God.
The family of the boy were so impressed with the girl that they suggested her their second son. Their second son was much better boy. He was Ilu in his yeshiva, very special boy that knew. And they said, we saw the quality of the girl. We saw how much she wanted to help him and to support him, and even though because of his, we want this kind of a girl. And she didn't stay a widow for a long time. She got married with this. Why? She bought their heart. You do some kind of an act. I don't say that. I'm saying it's stories that are it's hard. But Baruch Hashem, nobody should go through this. I'm just saying that when somebody does a certain act and he buys their heart, it's like forever. They would appreciate this person no matter what, even though troubles will go and all kind of things will happen. I want to tell you that in the Kodesh HaKodashim, what was the most important or most holy thing that we used to have, the holiest room that we used to have in Beit HaMikdash? It's called Kodesh HaKodashim. When the Kohen would go there once a year on Yom Kippur, right? What would they have in this place? Nothing. It was very plain room, but inside was Aron HaEdut, the Aron. Inside was the Sefer Torah that Moshe wrote himself, the tablets that he broke, and the new tablets that he got from Hashem. Okay? These were the things inside the Holy of Holiest. On top of this, what was? The Kruvim. The Kruvim is these two angels, one in the image of a female, one in the image of a male, that were facing one another. This is the Kruvim. This represents the love between us and Hashem. Okay? They say that, let's say, you want to buy yourself a diamond ring. Can you go and sell a Sefer Torah to buy yourself a diamond ring? No. You want to buy an apartment. You want to buy, I don't know, something to make you exercise. You want to buy, I don't know, something to the house. Can you sell Sefer Torah to buy such a thing? No. When would you sell Sefer Torah? When there's a bride and groom. There's no means of getting them married. There's no money. This is when you can sell a Sefer Torah and buy them all whatever they need for there's a little apartment, some things in the house or whatever, to make a Jewish home, to make it, to start a Jewish home, right? You can do such a thing. That's how important it is for a husband and wife to get married and to live in peace and in harmony and in love with one another. Let me finish with something interesting that I read. There is a couple like a bicycle. One is pulling the other. There is a couple like a pair of scissors. One cannot without the other. There is a couple like a pair of socks. Always try to cover the holes. There is a couple like a pair of glasses because someone sticks his nose between them. There is a couple like a pair of shoes. In the beginning it hurts, but then you get used to them. There is a couple like candlesticks. In the beginning it's shiny, then it blackens. There is a couple like twins. They get alike each and every day. There is a couple like a tefillin. You cannot talk nonsense next to them. Just, no. And there is a couple like the two tablets. That there is a covenant between them. That you can't separate them. That Hashem is between them. That's the ultimate love that we're looking for, the Shekhinah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, questions?
So